Welcome. In another week together. This week we're talking about giftedness and ADHD, which is certainly a commonly diagnosed twice exceptionality that can be found in both 504 plans and IEPs. One of the issues that we know about is that it's also often misdiagnosed. Those diagnoses can happen very quickly, unfortunately, through a quick routine doctor's visit, which is not what we would like. And some of those reasons are when you think about the behaviors that are shown, it looks like ADHD, right? So we talked about this, but part of that, gifted learners have a lot of struggles at times that can be related or look a lot like ADHD, even though it's just giftedness. And one of the things that happens, and this is from our reading this week, if you're sitting there and you've already learned everything that's about to be taught, your mind's going to be churning, right? We know this. Our minds are going in general, often as gifted, but you're going to be seen and you're going to act like you're off task. You're going to be fidgety. You're going to be interrupting others. You're going to be doing a lot of classic behaviors that look like ADHD. But when we haven't looked at the root cause, right? And if the root cause is because they're extremely bored or the teacher's not challenging them, there's the root cause. It's not ADHD. Let's look at some common struggles. So common struggles within ADHD would include attention, right? Another is executive functioning. We talked about this being a common struggle for many gifted learners in general. This week and next week we separated it out, but there's a lot of overlap here. We're looking at executive functioning more next week, okay? That's a part of ADHD struggles as well. There can be additional energy. And I believe we've talked about this before, but gifted learners in general tend to have more energy often. They tend to sleep less. We're talking about even when they're infants and toddlers, and just have some of that overexcitability and intensity that can look similar to ADHD. And then physically, I wanted to touch on the point that, ADHD can kind of look like they're driven by a motor, or a student might be tapping their leg or moving in their seat. That's more common for boys than girls. It can just be giftedness. It can be giftedness and ADHD. The other piece is that a student might not be noticed as not much, but a student that has inattention, that's just kind of off in their own world, daydreaming or things like that, but not, falling out of their desk or moving all the time, might be less noticed because of not having all of those physical manifestations. Your assignment for this week, and the other weeks we've wrapped if there's a paper or an assignment wrapped into the discussion as well, but this week we separated them out. The discussion is looking at misdiagnosis and some of our research and readings. And then the assignment this week is to support the development of new skills for students that have attention struggles. So you can go back to any of our readings and materials. We have some executive functioning materials that you might use this week as well. And you're just sharing a 1 to 2 page action plan on what you're going to try. If you end up being able to try out some of these strategies with the learner, you can add that into your paper as well. I look forward to another week with you, and please reach out if you have any questions. Bye-bye.